Hello, and welcome to the 2015 DBA Draft Preview. I'm Craig Carter, and that's a panda. Some opening thoughts. You've heard about the courts. We're expecting more than expected in year two. Year one ended with a bang when the shot heard around North Farragut occurred in the final seconds of year one. And we've added some members. I'd like to say hello to Davis Hatmaker, General Manager of the Memphis Grizzlies, Andy Pryor, General Manager of the Los Angeles Lakers, Andy Brock, General Manager of the Detroit Pistons, and Caleb Wood and Nolan Howe splitting up to form the Atlanta Hawks and Golden State Warriors. Hello and welcome. Breakup. That was rough. They were horrible last year.
Performance.
We suck.
I mean, I thought we could have done a little bit better, but I think overall we had lots of energy and lots of focus, and we really competed out there.
We're going to go through the teams, what we expect, what we think is going to happen this year. Starting with number one, the Boston Celtics. Ryan had an interesting offseason, moved around. He went to Golden State. They fired him, and he went back to Boston. Had a pretty solid draft. He grabbed Jackson Scott and Paul White after some trades. And after about a week, Jackson was very unhappy in Boston. Do you have anything to say about Jackson's unhappiness?
Jackson multiple times told me that he did not want to play for Boston. And so, you know what? He made things happen. Got in touch with LA, and now he's playing for LA. Pretty interesting move.
What a trade that went down. Unbelievable. Boston and they acquired Charlie Day and a first rounder next year. Ryan's setting up for a big year three. But Boston this year, they'll be a mediocre team. Defensively, they're struggle, but I think Ryan should carry the load offensively. So I don't expect really anything. Yeah.
Well, the Nuggets and John Creel. Pretty solid draft. Grabbed Tyler Williamson in the first round, then traded up with the Knicks and grabbed Cole Campbell, who, as we saw last year in the tournament, dead-eye shooter, absolutely stroked the ball at decent of Palace Hills. That court over there, decent of Palace of Decent Hills, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what, Tyler Williamson, don't even know who that kid is, but he's good.
Athletic. That's what I describe him as. Number three, the Washington Wizards. David High, in my opinion, the best pure shooter in this league. He can't ask. I mean, he absolutely shoots the lights out of it. Reverend Simpson, unbelievable job he did last year, playing in Los Angeles for the Clippers. Now he is just not happy in Washington, but he's never been happy. So,
if we get into the Bulls' heads, Dave Feinstein, inside sources say I could eat his chode.
So interesting to see what the Rev does in DBA, but also in his relationship status, talking with other women in the 8th grade class. Finally, Nathan Hethcox, new member, excited to see what he can do in this league. He, rumor has it he's a three-point specialist and also enjoys post defense. So Washington, I think they're going to be a quality team. If they can find some inside game, I think Washington will be able to compete in the Final Four.
I expect a lot from Nathan Hethcox. Probably a lot more than from Rev. Rev absolutely sucks. So now on to the Knicks. The Knicks had a pretty nice draft. Grabbed Nathan Chandler in the first round. Traded down and got Colin Galentine, who absolutely sucks at everything in life. And Sherman, he's just an average human being. He's average at everything except fighting. And so I think when they face the Wizards, it's going to be a nice fight between Galentine and the Rev.
Just a little inside source. Colin got into school suspension 4 days ago for cheating on a Spanish test.
That's what I like.
Well, Spanish, it's a hard subject. I don't think cheating's going to help you in Spanish.
Amen.
That's okay, Colin. Next, the Mavericks.
Dallas Mavericks, General Manager Danny Martin is next to me. He had an absolutely horrendous draft. Nothing more I can say about that. Thomas Simpson went at 12. Thomas is shorter than most people in this league. got a lot of heart. Defensively, he will be all over you. All over you. And Garrett Bloom, if he finds any sort of a game, he could be a good player. But averaging 0.3 points a game last year, that doesn't even round up to 1. Garrett didn't score. Then there's Daniel, with, in my opinion, the best fadeaway in the game. Moving to Dallas this season, expecting a lot. Replacing Rick Carlisle is tough, but Mark Cuban is a heck of an owner, and they've been in constant communication regarding new toilets. So Dallas looks set for a run.
And we got the Rockets with this guy is the general manager. Picked up Turner Heitzman, who has championship experience but lost last year in the championship. And Cole McDaniels, who had a nice run as a free agent last year, played in a bunch of different cities. Couldn't lock down a spot last year, but this year he's a top 24 player, so he earned himself a spot in the league. Rockets should be pretty top tier, but I could see the Mavericks getting him in the first round of the playoffs, getting them pretty big upset.
Sure, as we try to repeat as body of the year. Big movement. 7, the Los Angeles Lakers. Andy Pryor is the deceiver of all deceivers. Coming in, filling in last year in the tournament for David High, who has an injury that we are not allowed to expose to the public, but he did injure something, and Andy Pryor filled in, put up 17 in the Final Four game, falling in the last seconds as Carl missed a layup and sent the Knicks to the championship game. Andy has made big moves this offseason. Moved to Los Angeles. Got a Swaggy P jersey. Picked up Stuart Howe in the first round. And second round, he ended up grabbing Charlie Day, quality player. A week later, he was making moves, and Jackson Scott got shipped to L.A. And now you're looking at, in my opinion, the biggest 3 in this league. Stewart has quit AAU for the DBA. Absolute dedicated move. And Andy Pryor is an anus. So, a lot to see when it comes to the Laker facilities.
I mean, there's no player we're more proud of right now than Stuart Howe.
Absolutely.
Quitting AAU and playing soccer for the DBA. That's incredible. Next, we got the Pistons. New addition to the league, Andy Brock. Bringing Reed Bristow and Jason Osment. Probably the best 3 guards you're going to see in this league all together in one team. Going to absolutely stick it in most arenas. They're going to be tough to beat when they're on. Reed Bristow's bringing some nice ball handling skills, and Jason Osment is just going to be the Kyle Korver of this league. Just stick it from anywhere around the arc. So Pistons could make a nice run this year.
Now we head down to Atlanta with the Hawks. Nolan Howell last year struggled to do anything while he was in Golden State with the Cadet teaming up. Him and Cadet and Hampton were absolutely brutal. Now he had a big draft. 3 weeks before the draft, huge trade rumors going around. He made it click. He went to the first spot and grabbed Daddy Morris. Daddy Sweaty Morris. Sweaty's the best player in this league if he shows up. And then his other player, Daniel Gallinween. Unbelievable job Daniel's been doing this offseason. Daniel's really been working on his game. Undervalued player, but no one likes Daniel, so that should fit well for Atlanta. The only problem I see Atlanta running into is dedication coming down the wire. Right now, rumors have it Jackson Scott wants to skip DBA for AAU. If he does, he will be assassinated. But I see Atlanta being a title contender come late June.
And we got the Grizzlies actually taking over my old franchise. Happily gave it to him. Davis Hatmaker had a couple appearances last year in DBA, and I would say he was one of the most hated players in the league, especially from Rev Simpson, who physically assaulted him double-digit number of times in his one appearance. Also, Hampton Peters is joining up in Memphis. We're going to see what Hampton can do. Hampton did not get a lot of touches last year because of the selfishness of Nolan Howell and Cadet just playing together. I'd say Hampton got about 3 touches a day on play days. But Hampton's going to be able to do a lot more this season. And also Tom Creel, just an absolute lightning bolt. He probably can get up and dunk. He's going to be the Nate Robinson of this league. So the Grizzlies, they should have a pretty nice season.
Coming in pretty last, and the Portland Trailblazers. I'll be honest, I hate the Portland Trailblazers. I hate David Vandersteeg, but I do love his body. David had probably the best draft, one of the best drafts. Grabbed Carl at 2. Carl's got to be one of the best finishers in this league. Coming off the pick and roll with Vanderchild will be a great matchup to watch. And then third round, in my opinion, one of the best steals, Luke Slaughter. Just an absolute hustle player, defensive mastermind, and he went off for 12 points in Game 2 of the quarterfinals in last year's tournament against the Celtics. So this team's poised to make a run. The only issue I see them having is guarding on the perimeter. David's body limits him to what he can do, but it also pushes him forward because of his girth. That's about his body. So Portland should be set to make a run. Yeah, they'll be all right.
And last, the Warriors. Cadet Wood moving to Golden State this offseason. He picked up Mitchell Deason first round, and he's already having a little bit of internal issues with Deason. Deason is very concerned about the woman that he's been picking up this year. Heard from multiple sources that Kennedy Smith and Mitchell Deason have had a very rough breakup, and Mitchell Deason has handled it like a chode. Also, Davis Brady at point guard, who's got championship experience and a ring. So, Cadet Wood should be pretty set. If you can get Mitchell Deason on board, that could be a top-tier team.
Final thoughts for this year. I'm really excited to see what happens. I think our new additions, I think all 4 of them have a chance to really, really compete in this league. I'm also excited to see Andy Pryor play again. I mean, he's a mediocre player, but he might not be mediocre by the end of the season. And finally, I say go Rockets because I think we're underrated. Turner won Choate of the Year last year, and I think he's looking to repeat. I'm sorry, he did not win that award. He won Body of the Year, which I have no idea how he won that. Ugliest body in this league, but he got it. So, go Rockets. Anything else from you?
I could see Thomas Simpson winning Little Guy MVP and also Big Guy MVP this season. And Garrett Bloom winning Choate of the Year.
Amen.
So, I mean, my team is... Our mindset is individual awards. And, I mean, if we can get a couple of those, and that's the championship in my book. So, Dallas is ready to go.
We're here at the Enterprise, and signing out from Backyard Sports Enterprise, Craig Carter, Daniel Martin saying good night, and countdown till we go on this next.